My top favorite Android phones in 2023. Now, I'm not necessarily a, what you call it, latest and greatest type guy. I'm just not. As y'all know, those that are subscribed to my channel, I think people just move on to the next device just a little too soon for me. Now, to each his own. Some people like the latest and greatest, nothing wrong with that. But I'm just not that guy. I have a lot of older devices that are still great, work fine, no problems, no issues. So why so quickly to move on to the next thing when there's not a whole lot of change with these newer devices these days? It's just not. Like the only thing to me that's being improved for the most part is the cameras. All the features and all that stuff are pretty much the same. Some manufacturers have something on a previous model that they remove from the newer model, which makes no sense to me. Why would you remove anything? If anything, you just keep adding, more stuff to a device to make it more valuable and for people to get more value out of the device. So there's a lot of older devices that I believe give you way more value, excuse me, today than the newer devices. Just like with the S23, Samsung just they came out with the S23. They didn't improve on the charging speeds. They reduced the wireless charging from 15 watts down to 10 watts, which no reviewer talks about that. Like no reviewer even mentions that, which boggles my mind. Like, why would you reduce the wireless charging from 15 to 10 when 15 was already super slow? When it take you almost 3 hours to charge it. So that made no sense. They didn't improve the reverse wireless charging at all. So it's like, to me, you get the S20 Plus, the S20 Ultra, you're getting 45-watt charging, which is, I know what the S23 has, but you're getting 9-watt reverse wireless charging. And the wireless charging is faster than the S23. So my thing is, I'm just not one of the people that's so quickly to move on to the newest and latest, greatest thing, unless I feel as though it's really worth it. Now, I didn't really mean to get into all that. I wasn't getting into a rant or anything like that, but I just was trying to make a point why I do a lot of, reviews on older devices, because I feel like older devices give you more value. Okay, and it's just my opinion. So I'm going to go over my top 5 Android phones in 2023. Some of you are gonna like it, some of you are not gonna like it. It's my list. This is my opinion, all right, based on the phones that I have. So first, I'll do my honorable mentions first. First up, we have the Redmi Note 11 Pro. All right, the Redmi Note 11 Pro. I absolutely love this device. This device could easily be in my rotation. And you may say, why? Now, you may be surprised because this is a budget device, but look at this display. Look how bright, crisp, sharp, punchy, vibrant this display is. Look how teeny that punch hole camera is. It's super small. It's actually a little smaller than my Note 20 Ultra. Now, you may say, why would this be an honorable mention? First thing is the display. The display is absolutely beautiful. It's a 1080p display, 120 hertz refresh rate. It gets very bright, vivid. The performance on this phone is super buttery smooth. Really, really smooth. The phone is really, really fast to be a budget device. I've absolutely had no issues with performance on this device. As you can see how fast it opens everything and how smooth it is. It's super smooth. The next thing is the speakers. The dual stereo speakers on this phone are phenomenal. JBL, these speakers are the truth. Okay, they're incredible. Next thing, I like the cameras. The cameras on this phone are pretty good. You have a 108 megapixel camera on here. Look, the cameras on here are good. Check out my full review on this device. Check out those photo samples and video samples. Now the video can be a little choppy, just a little bit, but the photo, it takes really good night and day photos. Next thing, this thing has expandable memory up to 512 gigabytes. Okay, that's awesome, especially for a budget device. This is something that premium devices should have, expandable storage. So you have that on here. Next, this device has a headphone jack. Yes, a headphone jack. And the 24-bit audio DAC, that sound that comes out of this phone is incredible. Next, you got the USB Type-C port, 67-watt super fast charging. 67-watt super fast charging, and the charging brick comes in the box, unlike Samsung, Apple, and Google. Comes in the box along with a case. Next thing, the 5,160 milliamp hour battery. I can get 3 days of battery life on this device. So when it comes to value, when it comes to what you're getting, oh, and I forgot, the fingerprint sensor is on the side. It's flawless. It's super fast. I only have to press it one time, unlike my what's that? My note, my Fold 2. I always got to hit the fingerprint sensor twice. On this, I only merely got to barely touch it, and it opens up every single time. 100% accurate. I cannot get that on other side-mounted fingerprint sensor phones. I just can't. I always have to end up pressing it twice, and I hate that. But this one, I only got to press it once. This is don't have it always on display. That's one thing I don't like. But the face unlock on here is ridiculous too. It's ridiculous. It's super fast. Like, it's hard to even show you because of the fingerprint. And I can't double tap. See, if I raise the wake, I can show you. See? Where I raise the wake. It's super fast. I mean, this thing runs like a premium top tier device. So, and you can get this for under $250. So this is definitely an honorable mention. That's very deserving of it. And I could easily use this on a regular basis every day. It's just, I just wish it had wireless charging and it doesn't have an IP rating. So I'm gonna put that over here. Next on the list. Now y'all gonna be surprised by this, but look, it is what it is. My list. The Pixel 6 Pro. Now, I do like this phone. Don't get me wrong. I love the design. I love the build quality. I don't like that it don't have face unlock because it should. I know the 7 Pro does, but this one should have had face unlock because the 4XL had face unlock. So I don't know what Google was thinking about. I mean, I think they could still through software put face unlock on here, but of course they won't. Now, excuse me. I don't like the button placement. I don't like I can't use the Google Pixel launcher because I can't customize my home screen. But I will say this. Now, these are all the things that's reason why it's not in the top 5. Okay. I don't like the button placement. I don't like that it don't have face unlock. It doesn't have, a whole bunch of features that I like in a phone. But I will say this. The fingerprint sensor is 100% accurate. I mean 100% accurate. Now, I'm not even putting my whole finger on it. That's why I wasn't opening. There you go. It's 100% accurate. Whatever they did, they fixed it because there's zero issues with this thing. I mean, none. Every single time. Okay? This thing is super fast, super smooth, nice display. Speaker's not the best, but I like the big square footprint. I like that a lot. I like these thin bezels. I mean, I really like this phone a lot, but it's just like the fact that I can't customize my home screen if I want to use the Pixel launcher. That really turns me off. Because with an Android phone of this caliber, and they're the one that invented Android, you should be able to customize your phone however you want. There should be no restrictions, and I just don't like that they have that in place like that. And the fact that it's missing face unlock, the button placement is terrible every time I go to turn the screen off, I'm constantly hitting the volume buttons because the power button is way up here. I hate that. I hate that. Now, the cameras are phenomenal. They're great nighttime and daytime. Video, not the best, but pretty good. The charging speeds on here is terrible. I mean, this phone is slow. Now, you can charge it to 50% in 30 minutes, but after that, it's really slow. And the wireless charging is crazy slow. The reverse wireless charging, crazy slow. And the speakers, they're decent, but they could be a lot better. But I do like this device, but it didn't make the top 5. Next on the list. Now, this is gonna this is probably gonna make some people mad, but look, like I said, it's my list. Now, this device barely did not make the list. I mean, just barely did not make it. And some people, they might feel as though it should have. But like I said, there's reasons behind why it didn't. Okay. Now, these are phones that, the ones that didn't make the list. These are phones that I don't like. I don't desire or say, man, I can't wait to put my SIM card in there so I can use it. It's just I don't have those feelings about these devices that didn't make the top 5. The ones that made the top 5 is the ones that I want to use the most and that I do use the most. Now, I still use these other ones, but those 5 I use the most. The last one that comes in that did not make the list was the LG V60. Now, before you give me a thumbs down for those LG fans out there, listen, I love this device. Don't get me wrong. I really do. Okay? But no face unlock. I don't like these thick bezels. I hate this notch. Some people say, yeah, you could cover it. But look, I already tried that. You can cover it on the home screen. Then when I go look at video content, I can still see it. I just don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay? The speakers on here are amazing. Okay, the cameras are really good. The battery life is phenomenal. It has expandable storage, which is great. Has a beautiful display. Gets nice and bright. But the charging speeds, super slow. Wireless charging, super slow. I think the main thing for me with this device, and I really love this device a lot because you get the dual screen. I got the dual screen case. I just don't like these big, thick bezels and that notch. It just turns me off. And I don't like how high this power button is way up here. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I really don't, seriously. But I will say this. The screen is amazing. The battery life is amazing. The speakers are amazing. The performance is amazing. And I like the cameras. But it just missed the top 10. I mean, the top 5, excuse me. The LG V60, just barely missed it. But it's a great device, no doubt about it. All right, so let's get to my top 5 Android devices. Coming in at number 5, the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now, I know some of you might be saying, well, how in the world can the OnePlus 8 Pro beat out the LG V60 and the Pixel 6 Pro? Well, for me, I'm going to tell you, and it's not about design, even though I do like the design of this device. The number one reason is the display. I'm telling you, this display is amazing. I mean, no bezels. You got the motion graphics smoothing when you're watching video content, takes this phone display to a whole nother level. This is the best display that I have on any device, just because of that motion graphics smoothing. You're getting 120 hertz refresh rate. You're getting a fluid AMOLED display, quad HD display. See? So that's one of the reasons why it beats out. Oh, and I forgot to mention the headphone jack with the 32-bit quad DAC. Amazing on this phone. But this has a quad HD display at 120 hertz, which the LG V60 does not have. Okay. Now, the LG V60 does have better speakers than this, but this have really good speakers as well. But the performance on here is just super silky smooth. It's super fast. I mean, it's buttery smooth. I mean, buttery smooth. Love the performance on this device. I love it. But the main thing it's just the display. This display is incredible. Okay, now you do get great battery life, great standby time, which you do on the LG V62. So, but this has a not as big as a battery. This has a 5,000 milliamp battery. This has a, I believe, I know 4,000 something. I just can't remember at the moment. But I can get a day and a half on both. And this has a smaller battery. But this has a brighter display. Okay, I believe 1,300 nits peak brightness, I believe. Now, I could be wrong. You have the alert slider on the side. The excellent button placement. Power button is nice and low where I can easily get to it. I mean, I just really like this phone a lot. You're getting faster charging speeds with warp charging, 30-watt reverse wireless charging, and you're getting reverse wireless charging. All that on this phone is IP68 water and dust resistant. I mean, you're getting the full package. Now, it's missing a headphone jack. It's missing expandable storage, which the LG V60 has, and also it doesn't have a quad DAC, but the DAC that this does have, it sounds great. It really does. I mean, both of these have great sound through the audio, so no issue with that. But the main reason is the display. Now, like I said before, and I'm getting face unlock, something I don't have on LG, which I use. Okay. Now, when you look at both of these have great displays, but you can see I just don't like that notch. I don't like those large bezels at the top and around the sides. I just don't. Now, that's just me. Now, that's the main reason why my desire is to use this, and especially when I'm watching media content and I go to that motion graphic smoothing on here, and it just takes this display to a whole nother level. That is the main reason why my desire is to use this more so than that of the LG V60. That is the main reason. This display is just incredible. Coming in at number 4, Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. Now, simply, it's not hard to know why I love this device. It's a fold, okay? It's a foldable device. You got a nice big display on the front, even though it's a little narrow. But when you open this up, man, watching, multitasking, watching media content, being highly productive if I have to do a lot of things. If I want to read a book, this display is so bright, so big, so beautiful. The cameras, I like the cameras. The battery life is good. I can get a day and a half battery life, and that's at 100% peak brightness, 100% on always on display. Man, the speakers on here, great. I love this device. It's my favorite foldable device. Of course, I have the original Galaxy Fold 2, which the display on there is still incredible, and the speakers are incredible too. But this one, you got thinner bezels, you got a brighter display. I love this device. So when it comes to my 4th favorite device that I want to use, it's the Z Fold 2. Love it. Coming in at number 3. Now, this might surprise some people. All right. It would be the Asus ROG 5. Love this device. I love the design of this device. You got your, I forgot what you call that thing that flashes back here, even though I barely ever use it. But I've seen the ROG 6, and I don't like the design of that phone. I think it's ugly. Now, I do like that display in the back. That's cool. But the overall design of that phone, I just don't like the design of it. So I don't have no desire for that phone. But here, this phone is incredible. Now, you do have a little bit of chin, bezel at the top and the bottom. That's only because it has front-facing speakers that will blow your friggin' head off. I mean, these are by far the best dual stereo speakers that I have on any device other than maybe my Samsung S Plus tablet. because those has 4 speakers on it. So I think, but I think they're pretty even. But these are by far the best when it comes to a smartphone device. Okay, these speakers, sometimes they're so loud I have to turn this thing down. And I usually always like blaring my speakers when I'm listening to media content. Like if I'm cooking in the kitchen, in the bathroom and I'm playing Star Trek, I want to hear it and I want to hear it loud. These speakers get the job done. The display is super bright. It's a big 6.7-inch display. It's 1080p AMOLED. It gets super bright. The speakers, I love these speakers. 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Easily 2 days of battery on this without any problem. The button placement is great. Super low, probably the lowest that I have on any phone. I mean, really low for such a large device. 144 hertz refresh rate. The phone, I mean, it's super fast. I mean, look, this is the fastest phone I have. Fastest. I mean, everything is fast. Everything is smooth. I mean, everything opens up immediately. This phone is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Okay, 256 gigs of internal storage, but it's just so ridiculously fast. I mean, it's instant. You press this button, it just loads up immediately. It's super fast. So I love this device. I really enjoy using it. It has a headphone jack. It has a 32-bit quad DAC. That sounds incredible. I love this device. I love the build quality. I love the heft and the weight to it. Love this. Like, this is the phone that I look forward to using. Like, if it's, these phones that are in my rotation, I'm always excited about getting back to using this phone because of this display, those speakers, and the battery life, and the 144 hertz refresh rate. ROG 5. Love this phone. It's a gaming phone, but it's a beast of a device. No question about it. Coming in at number 2. Now, this is really going to shock y'all. Those of you that know me and follow my channel, this is really going to shock a lot of people. But, hey, it is what it is. Coming in at number 2, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Now, you may say, what? Coming in at number 2? Yes, coming in at number 2. Okay? But I love this device. Now, I will say this. This may be coming in at number 2 as my second favorite Android device, but it's my most used Android device because my SIM card never, ever comes out of this device. I have two lines, but it never comes out of this device. Never. Okay? This is my most used device. Why? One UI is the number one reason. The One UI. I love One UI. I love the software. I love all the features. I do love this design. One of my favorite designs. I do love how big this is at 6.9 inches. 1080p. Not 1080p. Quad HD display, even though I can't use the Quad HD display at 120 hertz resolution. I mean, I can't use the Quad HD with the 120 hertz refresh rate, which Samsung screwed up when they did that. Only at 1080p. So this phone stays at 1080p. Now, I didn't turn the display on because, unfortunately, the phone is dead at the moment. So, but the display is beautiful. 1500 nits peak brightness. The button placement is excellent. It does have expandable storage, which is important to me. The charging, it could be better. 25 watts is not fast enough for me. I'm used to faster charging speeds. I wish it was faster, like that of the S20 and the Note 10 Plus, which both have 45 watt charging capability. 15 watt wireless charging is slow. 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging, slow. But I love the build quality. I love the big, wide, boxy shape. I love that because it's like when you're holding it like this and you're watching media content, it's like, holding a small TV in your hand. So there's a lot about this device that I love. Edge panels, edge lighting, secure folder, Samsung Note, Samsung Pass. Samsung Dex. This thing is loaded. It pretty much has everything except a headphone jack, things like that. IR blaster. But it has good speakers, not the best, but good speakers. but it's number, as far as being my favorite Android device, it comes in at number 2 as far as my favorite, but it is my most used device. So keep that in mind. Now, for the big granddaddy of them all, if you know which one is coming, I wonder if those who know me know which one is coming in at number 1. Now, this is the phone that I really get excited about using. I enjoy using the most because it just does a lot of things that I like. Let me just get this all straight, put it together so it'll be enough room. Coming in at number 1, my number 1 favorite Android device is the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. This thing is a monster. It's a beast. Secondary display, get your notifications, control your media, take photos, take videos. This is not a gimmick here, not at all. 120 times zoom. The cameras on this device are incredible. Better, in my opinion, than that of the Note 20 Ultra. Okay, they're just better. Okay, the build quality is great. Ceramic back, Gorilla Glass Victus on the front. Excellent button placement, nice and low. Love the always on display. You can use super wallpapers. The face unlock is great. The fingerprint sensor works great. You do have haptic feedback, and you can change different animations. The 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus display with the 120 hertz refresh rate. So Quad HD with 120 hertz refresh, unlike the Note 20 Ultra, which you got to use 1080p. Quad HD, okay? 5,000 milliamp hour battery. I can get a day and a half using this phone moderate to heavy. The speakers on this device are better than the Note 20 Ultra, way better. Sound incredible. The USB Type-C port audio, better than that of the Note 20 Ultra. These are phenomenal. Oh man, it's just so many things. 67 watt super fast charging, 0 to 100 in 36 minutes. 67 wireless charging, 0 to 60 in 39 minutes. 10 watt reverse wireless charging. 25, 15, 4.5. 67, 67, 10. That's one of my favorite things I love about this, because I can wake up in the morning and just put this on the charger, and long before I have to leave the house, this thing is at 100%. And there is zero battery anxiety with this device. I get through the end of a regular day using this moderate to heavy. I got over 50% battery left after an 18-hour day. That's crazy. This phone drains battery like crazy. I always had battery anxiety with this device, and I always have to charge it twice a day. I mean, twice a day, overnight, and then in the middle of the day. Because at the end of the day, if I don't charge this in the middle of the day, I'm going to be coming home with like maybe 20%, if not less. So this is a battery beast right here. A battery beast. So that's the main that's one of the biggest reasons why I love this. No battery anxiety, great speakers, great cameras, great audio, great face unlock, great biometrics overall, great build quality. The display is beautiful. 1700 nits peak brightness, 0 bezels on this at all, 0. I mean, this device has it all. Seriously. Only thing is missing for me. Oh, and I forgot. This has also an IR blaster, a universal remote control, which I absolutely love. Okay, one-handed mode. It is very customizable. Now, Samsung is more customizable, but this is customizable as well. And the sheer speed of this device, the smoothness of this device is great. I mean, ooh, sorry. I ain't trying to get no copyright issues, but you can see, I mean, the thing is smooth. It's fast. I mean, I get so excited when I put my SIM in here to use this. I get so excited. So this is my favorite Android phone in 2023. You know, a lot of y'all out there waiting for the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. It may come, it may not. I don't know. But I still don't think it's going to be better than the Mi 11 Ultra. I really don't. I mean, for the full package you're getting here, plus this is IP68 water and dust resistant as well. This has everything. And one of my favorite things is the secondary display. I mean, I really love this thing because it's highly functional. It's not a gimmick. You know, the cameras on here are absolutely phenomenal. Even as far as 30 times zoom, 50 times zoom, you're still going to get a great shot. You got all of these different, you know, things on here you could do with the camera. The cameras on this phone are just incredible. You know, the speed, the performance, the display, the battery, the audio, the charging speeds. This has everything except a headphone jack, and expandable memory. Those are only two things, in my opinion, that this phone is missing. That's it. And last year's Xiaomi 12 Ultra S or whatever, it still wasn't as good as this, in my opinion. And I haven't had that phone, but they reduced a lot of things. Like, why would you reduce anything when this device here was a masterpiece? I mean, it really is. And this is going to be able to hang with anything that's coming out this year, even the S20, S23 Ultra. This still does a lot of things better than that phone. Now, you got that 200 megapixel camera. I'm almost certain this phone can hang with that device as far as cameras, performance, battery, everything. Now, eventually, I'm going to get that phone just to test it. I'm not going to keep it because I'm not interested in Samsung like that anymore. I'm more Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo. I'm going to check out those devices because you get a little more value with those devices, and you actually get an unboxing experience, unlike Samsung, Apple, and Google. So this is my #1 favorite phone. But don't forget, my most used phone, the phone that never comes out of my pocket ever, is the Note 20 Ultra. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Love all these devices, but these are my top 5, heavy in my rotation. But I still use these as well. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.